Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about how Offset denied jprince entry into Atlanta after the issues that they got and made him check in. And so the details came out. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. So basically, y'all already know that, when they go to Houston, they got to check in. And now they're making it to where if they go to Atlanta, jprince and all that, his sons and the whole entire entourage of how many other deep, they probably like 100 deep, they got to now go check into Atlanta because of the recent issues that's been going on. And now that's what a lot of people are saying in the streets. And so basically with all that, what we're hearing is that Offset's not letting people slide and get in for free anymore. He's making them do the same exact thing that they would do to him. And so basically, you wouldn't blame him because, he's just trying to fight fire with fire. He's doing to them what they did to him and everything, and that they're doing to Migos and all the other rappers. And so he never grew up thinking that he had to answer to jprince and them, because when he grew up in Atlanta, nobody ever mentioned that over there. And jprince, what he thinks of Atlanta is that he told Offset that even though he says that Atlanta is part of the South, they actually on East Coast time. And so that he's more in charge of the South than they are. And so that's where they got into a heated whole conversation, and basically everything went parted ways. And down south from there, it went south, the conversation did, because of the fact that they couldn't agree upon who's going to be following what rules and not. And so when it's too many rules, every city you go, it's another rule, another place. You can't go here, you can't go there. Sometimes Offset not trying to do all of that. He's tired of that, because whenever Cardi B pops out, she doesn't have to go check into nowhere and everything like that, other than the situation that happened when she had this issue with the people in LA. But apparently, I guess maybe what people are saying is that jprince might have got them at that situation. And so everything goes back full circle, and they all have connections with each other. They've been known each other for a long, long time. And so the fact that the issues are coming out now, it's like all of the stuff that they've been holding back inside and thinking about in their head for 10 years and everything while they've been working with each other is all coming out to the forefront now. And all of the issues and the beefs that stemmed and what built up like a rolling, like snowball effect downhill. And what y'all got to understand is that with this whole issue, it seems like Offset's the one that's dealing with it more than Quavo. It's like, for some reason, a lot of people are commenting, they're saying Quavo made an agreement with them or something like that. And so this is all making it so Quavo's really kind of quiet in the situation. But it seems like Offset's the only person that's really trying to defend Takeoff or trying to defend anybody from the Migos perspective, like how you would defend yourself if, the jprince and them, and that you had issues with all that. And, you've seen what's been going on for the last few months. Everybody knows what's going on. And those down in Houston, those down in Atlanta, you guys been knowing that they've been having issues back and forth with each other. Like, you got to understand that Quavo and Offset, when they had their big argument when with the Sweetie situation and everything like that, that's when everything just started to fall apart for them. And it just turned into where, QC was even getting ready to split up and break everything up anyways because of the whole Rico situation coming down. They didn't know if Lil Baby was going to be the thing that was getting them looked at, but he turned to be going towards more positive and mainstream, and so that it became not the issue. But then it was looking more into like the dice game situations that have been going on. What's Quavo really been involved in? What have they really been doing down in Houston? Why are they always going to see jprince and Jr. and all them? Is it that they have to go and check in with them because when they started their careers first, they got them put on with Drake, and the song with Drake blew them up, basically, is what a lot of people could argue and say. And so maybe that's what MobTies had a hand in, because at that time they were managing Drake. They actually were the people who got a hold of Drake first due to Jazzy knowing him, because he watched Degrassi on TV. He was their #1 fan. And so what y'all got to understand is that all of this has the deep connection from way long time ago when Drake was with them in Houston with jprince and them, and then the Migos career was coming up. They merged it together, made them poppin'. They all had a piece of it. They get a percentage of everything the Migos did. And that's why they got a hold of the chains. And maybe what people are saying was that they might have sold it to Johnny Dang. And that's what we're hearing, because, Johnny Dang can get jewelry and turn it into whatever. And so, the streets is talking, and basically that's one of the scenarios that's going out. They probably got all of the QC chains and somehow was able to get them back because of the fact that they had a certain percentage when the company sold. When QC sold, whoever it was that put in on the investment in the first place early, whoever had already contracts of money that they were supposed to get from certain artists, they might be able to get a lump sum right away. And that's how the chains, the cars, everything that's owned by the whole labels, the assets gets dispersed out to the shareholders and everybody that's actually put in money to invest, and they get a little cut out of the whole company that gets sold, plus the money that comes with it. And so what y'all gotta understand is that it could have been a whole, like, they could know the people that has even got the new company, and they could have invested in with them so that they don't have to have their names as positions as like people who work there and whatnot. They could just be private investors that just lend the money to make the whole operation come. But then behind the scenes, they are on phone calls and Zoom meetings and conference calls and telling people what to do, telling the executives what they got to do, pulling the strings. That's how everything works out these whole times. And so now with all that, Offset's like looking at everything like he can't, he needs people to hear him out because he's trying to like basically get justice for Takeoff and make sure, everybody's sees that what really happened is, not what's being said, and that is more to it because Quavo seen exactly what happened. Offset wishes he was there to prevent everything from going on, because if Offset was there as soon as the dice game came up, he would have already squashed everything inside and let them know that they're not going to do anything to them. And whenever it came to them checking in, he would have made sure that they're not going to be on no funny business, making them drive through the whole Fifth Ward and put them in danger and everything like that, even though they can go through the Fifth Ward. But what is they going to charge them $50K for? They didn't really do anything. If anything, they put them more in danger by having them drive in the convertible where they're like basically sitting ducks and anything can happen. Because if you were sitting duck, people and ops and whatnot, they can come up and see you and all that. If you definitely in the convertible going through the Fifth Ward. And so that's basically where Offset was like, man, if he was there, he would have made sure that nothing would have happened to Takeoff and would have already left out of that whole party early before they even like got to the cutting the cake. When they saw the host of the party, which was one of jprince's sons, Jazzy, when he was basically leaving, it was his birthday and he left before they cut the cake. So when he left, Offset would have already knew that and would have told Quavo and Takeoff to leave. And so basically at that point, Quavo and Takeoff, or Quavo and Offset would have got into it, and Quavo would have wanted them to stay because he already got some sort of agreements, right? And then so Takeoff and Offset would have left together because Offset would have been like, okay, Quavo, you stay. Me and Take is going to go, and we're going to go back to this or go over here or go to that, do that. And then they would have just tried to dip out before the whole dice game argument even happened. One thing you guys got to understand is that Offset moves a little bit better than them because he's already been through the situation where he got locked up. So he knows how to move now, getting a second chance to be out and free and everything like that. Like he went and made a power move by getting with Cardi B and securing that down. So that way now he gets, if anything happens, he's still going to be good because she's going to take care of him because she has way more bread anyways. So what y'all got to realize is that in this situation, Offset got his stuff done right. Takeoff, you know how he's going to be more positive and just move in the right direction anyways. And so Offset was trying to help and make sure that stays preserved. But then Quavo, he didn't get the right girl. Like, he didn't get a girl that's the caliber of Cardi B, who already has millions and millions, so that if anything, they're both her and Offset are both provided for the family and everything. So Quavo doesn't have that. And Takeoff was going to be good anyways. And so if Offset and Quavo didn't have their issues and try to split up, then Offset would have saved Takeoff. And so because Offset and Quavo had the issues and they did break apart and everything, that put the situation worse because they all need each other to be able to survive and everything, because of the fact that they all family and they've been a trio for a long, long time. So when you break that, you throwing off the energy, you throwing off the vibes off course, and you veering off into uncharted territory where it might not all work out the same way, because you need the three people together to be able to have everything function in the way it did. That's what they were relying on for the last 10, 15 years. And so once Quavo and Offset had their issues, it made it to where Takeoff couldn't be there, or Offset couldn't be there to help Takeoff, to make sure that he's not getting persuaded by Quavo to go to Houston and go to these unnecessary parties and pop out and have all these beefs and dramas that Quavo gets himself into. filter and trickle down into the other people and have caused problems like the way it happened. So with all that being said, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below, let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.